Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Queen Sixtus of Queen Sixtus TV. If this is your first time seeing me, you're welcome to the channel. And if this is not your first time, you're welcome back. Thanks for tuning in today. And on today's topic, I'll be discussing what I did differently as a second-time mom. Now, this is a part 2. There is a part 1 where I spoke about pregnancy, postpartum prep and post-delivery, so you should check that out after watching this video. And today I'll be talking about what I did differently as a second-time mom. Now this is after delivery, what I did with my baby, right? So let's dive in. So the first one is to get things going from the start. From my experience with my first son, by the way, I'm a mom of 2 boys. My first son is 2 going to 3, and my second is 6 months. So with my experience with my first son, there were a lot of things I didn't know as a first-time mom. And that experience have actually equipped me to do things differently as a second-time mom. And the first one is to get things started from the get-go. All right, so there is this thing about milestones, babies meeting their milestones at different months or different stages in their life. So for instance, let me give this example. When my first son was almost 6 months here, when we went for his 6 months appointment, and the doctor was asking if he has started rolling, and I told him no. He was like, if he has even started making an attempt, because he's supposed to have started making an attempt from 4 or 5 months, and I told him no. So after that appointment, I went home and I started Googling how to help babies roll, because another thing I knew it was that my son didn't like tummy time. So I learned different variations of tummy time, not just the traditional way of lying them flat, and that kind of help to get things started. Now with my second son, as early as 2 months, we already started tummy time. We actually started tummy time from the start, like from birth, but that was like gently, a few minutes here and there. And then when he was 2 months, 3 months, he could actually stay for like 5 to 6 minutes. And then I actually noticed that it helped his mobility a lot, because by the time he was 5 months, he was already flipping everywhere. Now he's 6. Let's not go there. The second one will be, now that we're 6 months, we started solids, and I am taking things gently. The first time around, I thought that when we are 6 months, they say 6 months with milk, they feed on milk for 6 months, or the first 6 months, and then after 6 months they can start solid. So my initial thought was that once they are 6 months, they will start eating like a pro. Nobody told me that it was going to be another learning process, and that kind of frustrated me, because as at that point my baby was wanting more milk than I could give per time. I was nursing, and I did exclusive breastfeeding, and sometimes we'll feed and he will not be satisfied, and I'm trying to get him to like solid, but it wasn't really going so well. So that kind of frustrated me. So now I understand that when they start eating solid is a process. So I'm supposed to give like about 2 to 4 weeks for him to adjust and get a hang of it. So if you're a mama watching me and you want your baby to start eating like a pro at 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, just give it an extra time, or start earlier, so that by the time you want them to start eating like a pro, they're already eating like a pro. So for instance, if you want them to master the art of eating solid at 5 months or 6 months, that means you have to start like 2 weeks before, so that at least they get to understand the different tastes, textures, and all of that. So yes, I am not frustrated. We are well into 6 months and we're taking things easy. The third thing I am doing differently as a second-time mom is still on this solid eating, because that is the phase where we are, and is to start, to try things one after the other. The first meal that I gave him was a mashed bananas, which was fine, and the next meal I gave him he reacted to it, and that's because it was a combo. So I had to separate the food to actually know, is it the potatoes, because it was sweet potato puree. It was either sweet potato or the formula, and eventually it was the formula he was reacting to. And he took on the potato the next time I gave it to him very well. So yeah, that means I have to keep an eye on the kind of formula that he may take if we eventually want to start introducing formula. But for right now, we are on breast milk. And that leads me to the next one, which is I'm not jumping on every baby food that I see online. And as much as I'm doing that, yeah, I'm saying I because this is about what I'm doing differently, right? So I actually got help from a lot of mamas online when I had my first baby about what kind of food to make, because I was blank. I didn't want to be that traditional African mom that would just be giving pap all the time or custard. And I got quite a good number of meals to make for my baby. And my first son did not react to formula. We actually started introducing formula like after 1 year, but he didn't react to it. So I just thought like, okay, let's just get into it already. But this time around, I am not jumping to every food I see online. Like I said, I'm trying things one after the other, see things that he would likely react to, things that he might be finding hard to digest. And with my first son, I did baby-led weaning, which was fantastic, but I'm doing things differently because I'm starting with puree with my second son. So which is not bad, which is actually great. The next thing I'm doing differently is to give myself some grace. We worry too much, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. We can start overthinking things as moms that want the best things for their babies. But hey, mama, you got this, all right? So I'm learning to give myself grace. If A doesn't work, that's fine. It's a learning process. It's a learning curve for all of us. So if one thing does not work, doesn't mean that I'm a failure or I'm not good at it. I just have to try something else that might possibly work. So I'm learning to give myself grace in all things, whether it's food, whether it's meeting milestone, whether it's giving them quality time, or even making time for myself. I'm giving myself a lot of grace, because if you know what it means to handle a toddler and a baby, you know what I mean. Okay. So the last thing I'm gonna say is something I know and I'll continue to do. So it's not something I'm doing differently, because now I'm a second-time mom, and I know that every child is different. So what I'll continue to do is to be patient with my baby, and especially meeting milestones, knowing that every baby is different. So not to compare him with his brother and the stages that they met their different milestones. Just be patient and direct them in the right path, and yeah, trust that everything is going to turn out well. So if you have watched up until this point, thank you for watching. I just want you to tap that subscribe button and the notification bell so you will get notified when next I am going to upload a video. Until next time, thank you so much for watching and stay blessed.